Hey everybody, I'm glad you can join me. My name is Jerry, and today it's a beautiful day out. It's December 30th, and it's sunny and it's warm. I'm gonna go and twist the throttle and have a great time. You know, the 2017 Suzuki GSX-R1000R, it doesn't have that rear tire hugger like I was mentioning in my last video. I think I said I was gonna buy a new undertail, but what I really meant to say is I went ahead and bought a rear tire hugger. For those of you who want to know, the only one I can find is, let's see, out of the UK, and I think their name is Power Bronze or something like this. So I'm waiting for that to come in. When it comes in, I'll run a video on that and install it and show you guys how that looks on the bike. Right now I'm gonna go for a ride, have a great time, so stick with me because that's coming up right now. Okay, so before I go out riding, I always check a few things, but I'm gonna just show you something here. I always check the chain tension, okay? Now, I don't always do this, but I put a little mark on here. This is the thickness of the chain from top to bottom. See that? It's approximately the same thickness. Okay? So what you wanna do is make sure that this chain, how loose this chain is, you don't want it to be any more than the height of the link itself. Okay, so what I'm going to do is I'm going to put it right here. We're going to line up the bottom line. Okay, hopefully you can see it. Let me get the kickstand out of the way here. You're going to line up the bottom line with the bottom of the link. See that? The black magic marker is lined up at the bottom of the line, right? So I'll hold that right there, and we don't want the bottom of the link to go above this top of this ruler. And it almost does, right? I give it a good push. So that's the maximum you want it to be. So this chain's probably just okay. It can be tightened up a little bit, but we're probably okay for this ride. Okay, the next thing I check is I always check the brake fluid. Both the front reservoir and the back. Now on this one, you know, it's kind of hard to tell with the camera, but I can see that with the bike pretty level here, that it's just below the full line. That's because I got the handlebars turned here a little bit, right? They're turned in. So this is perfect. This is actually where you want it. Okay. And then I check the rear brake fluid as well, which is on this side. Let me just check to see what we got going on. The light's not as good here, but we might be able to see it anyway. So that's right there. And yeah, you can see it pretty good on the camera here. It's pretty good. It's just probably right at the full line. Yep, just fractionally below the full line, so we're okay. Okay, the other thing I always check before I start the bike is, of course, we want to check the oil level. I just did an oil change maybe a few rides ago. Let's see what we got here. So the oil with the bike sitting level, and this bike is just a little bit up in the rear end, so that's why you see the oil here level, and the sight glass is a little bit tilted. But this is actually pretty good right here, exactly between the two lines on the left. Okay, so between that line, bottom line and that top line, that's where you want the oil level to be. So this is looking really good right here. Okay, and we're gonna, when I get into 2018, I'm hoping to do some serious go fast part upgrades from our good. Well, I guess I can call him a friend. We never met, but he's an online friend. Brock's Performance. He's a pretty cool guy. If you haven't checked out his YouTube channel, go check it out. Anyway, we'll see what happens in 2018. Hopefully the money's available to make all this happen. And one of the things we're going to do is go with some different oil, some lower viscosity oil. We're going to try it out. But for now, yeah, we're using the Suzuki X-R1000R fully synthetic. I think it's called R9000. Okay, so the next thing we're going to do is check the tire pressure. Got myself a little digital gauge, no big deal. Right? Take off the valve stem cover. And we want the tire pressure on, it says 42 I think on here, but we want it somewhere at least in the high 30s to go for a good ride. I'm at 41, so I'm going to leave it right there. It's perfect. Tire's cold, so I know we're not getting a bad reading from the sun hitting the tire and heating up the tire, so we're okay. Okay? And in the front, I'll check it too. If it's low, I'll bring over my little portable air compressor and just put some air in it. Okay, same thing over here. Even though you can't see on the camera, there's a valve stem cap right here. I'm just going to take it off. The one thing about these modern sports bikes is the rotors are so big on the front wheel that it's sometimes hard to get to the valve stem and just get a pressure gauge in there, or even just get the line for the air pump in there, because sometimes it's going to be a real pain in the butt. So you got to kind of work the gauge in there in such a way that you can actually get it on there, you know, squarely. Not always easy. I got 35, which, let's see, it says 36 on the swing arm chain. The swing arm chain guard will give you the pressure for these tires. You can read the manufacturer ones too. It says 42, but on the chain guard for this exact tire they say 36. Right now it's at 35. I'm going to leave it there at 35. Put the valve stem back on nice and tight, and we're good to go. So at this point we've checked everything that I check on every ride before I go out. Chain tension, the front and rear brake fluids, the motor oil, and the crankcase, the level of that. Okay, and lastly, the rear and front tire pressure. So that's 6 different spots on the bike I check every time I go before I go riding. Now some of you may say, isn't that excessive? No, I ride hard. Okay, I ride hard. I'm not going to take a chance. I make sure the bike's maintenance is kept up. Okay, every time before I go riding, those are the minimum things I check. Okay, the next thing is just basic stuff, like I'm going to take some glass cleaner right now. I'm going to go over and wipe down the windscreen because it's got some bugs on it. Okay, so since there's no rear tire hugger, you may be able to see it in this photo here. But we got a dirty under swing arm back there. Okay. And the undertail and the rear light here got to be cleaned up because there's no rear tire hugger. So I got a tire hugger coming in, like I said, and I'm going to put that on. And that's coming from the UK. Power Bronze makes it. So I got to put that on there. But until then, I got to, you know, basically just use some Windex to clean things up. So that's what I'm going to do right now. Okay, we come over to do the basics, right? Come over here, squirt, 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 right? Wipe it down. Back of the mirrors, they get bugs on them, even though you can't tell in this picture very well. There's bug junk here. And usually the front fender and even the shocks underneath, the front forks I should say, get bug splatter. So I just check that every time, wipe it down pretty much, get the bike ready to roll. Basic stuff. Maybe takes 5 or 10 minutes to do that, guys, at the most. Wipe the bike down. And that's it, then we go for a good ride. I just wanted to talk a minute about how I gear up before I go ride. Now, there's a lot of different ways to gear up. Some people do wear different things, but, you know, I don't try to take risks as far as my gear goes, okay? So this is a HJC, one of the lower model helmets. You can see my little bullet camera on the side there. Okay. I have some Joe Rocket gloves, gauntlet gloves. I don't remember what kind these are, but basically just basic. That's one of my older helmets, the KBC, which they don't make helmets anymore. I wish they did, because this helmet, the design, the size is just awesome. HJC is a little bit more elongated, but for the money I can't complain. I've got myself a slightly used Joe Rocket jacket. Okay. Right. Got that off of eBay, I think. And yes, I'm wearing full leather pants. Right now, these are, I think they're AGV Sport, if I remember right. Let's see, what do we got here? Yeah, AGV Sport. Okay. Knee pucks. So yeah, this is a two-piece, and no, this jacket doesn't match up with these pants. It doesn't zip up to these pants, but, you know, I was going low buck, and that's what I could afford at the time. So I'll probably get a full race suit here once I can come up with some money, obviously. I'll do it, right? But yeah, so okay, that's everything on the top and the bottom, and then I have an old pair of race boots that I used to race with. Okay, these are I think these are Joe Rockets too, right? Yep. Is that Joe? No, Alpine Star. I'm sorry. It's Alpine Star boots. Okay, these are some old ones. I don't remember the model, but you can tell these boots are shot. The undersole is all hard and not really providing any grip anymore. So I'm gonna have to get some new boots. But for now, I've dug these out of storage, and that's what I'm wearing on the bottom. So you can see, guys, I'm fully geared up when I go riding. Now, some of you may say, "Oh man, that's overkill." Well, if you've never been down on a motorcycle, like if you've never been to a track day or done some racing, it's not. There's an old saying: it's not if, but when you will go down. Especially if you're racing, it's gonna happen. Oh yeah, what a weapon this bike is. Some Texas vultures right there, boys. Check them out. Hey, what's up, fellas? Looks like they got themselves a raccoon. Downhill. Oh my gosh, that corner. That corner is you know what? So bumpy. You really gotta watch it.
The flip sticker didn't work there. The gas tank whenever I can.
Well, hey guys, went out for a ride today. What a beautiful day. You know, we're about to get some really cold weather, like 3 or 4 days in a row, so I had to take advantage of today. I tell you what, I had a great time hitting the twisties out in the hills here in the hill country of Texas. Of course, I got some wheelies in. Oh man, I tell you what, I've said it before, you know what I'm gonna say, right guys? This thing is a weapon. 2017 Suzuki GSX-R1000R, and I had a great time. Listen guys, if you haven't subscribed to our YouTube channel, go ahead and click that Texas flag right there, and I really appreciate the thumbs up. You can see right here's a playlist. If you want to click on that, you can see all my other videos. And until next time guys, we'll see you right back here again real soon.